Hello, everyone, and welcome to your video on perimeter, area, and volume. So some of you might know this stuff already, but I didn't actually put it all together until I was well past my math learning years. So I'm hoping to give you a head start. So for our purposes here, we are going to look at the lowly rectangle. And we are first going to start with the easiest of all calculations, and that is the perimeter. So you are going to have a width of this rectangle and a length of this rectangle. And to calculate the perimeter, that just means the outside edges of that rectangle. So you would add up your width plus your length plus this width over here plus this length over here. And because it's a rectangle, we know that our two widths are going to be the same and our two lengths are going to be the same. So you could think of the perimeter as being width plus length plus length. Or if you wanted to go in a circular fashion, it would be width plus length plus width plus length. Hopefully you can see that there's no difference between the answer that you will get with those two equations. Sometimes people write it like this. They write 2W's plus 2L's, 2 times the width plus 2 times the length. Or sometimes when they're really feeling crazy, they'll write this equation, which is 2 times your W plus your length. All of these are going to give you the exact same answer. And what's interesting, I think, about perimeter is how the units look. So let's just pretend that this is calculated in feet. Our perimeter would also be in feet. Just plain old feet, not feet square, not feet cubed, not the square root of feet, just plain old feet. So if you have 5 feet and 10 feet and 5 feet and 10 feet, your perimeter would be 30 feet. Okay, that's easy enough. Now let's make our rectangle a little bit more interesting. So if the perimeter is how much fencing it would take to go around the rectangle. What area does is area looks at how much space is in the rectangle. And usually when we learn this, it is, let me see, this is area, and this is space in the shape. And the way that you could think of it is if you drew a bunch of boxes and each box was 1 by 1, one across and one up and down, how many boxes could you fit in that shape? So here we would have 4 boxes going up, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 boxes going across. Again, this is going to be 4 on this side and 6 on this side. Now we know if we were calculating perimeter, we would do 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4, which would give us 20. For area, however, the formula is length times width. So in this case, it would be 4 times 6, which is 24. And again, let's assume that I am measuring in feet. That means that my answer is going to be 24 square feet because I've written all these little squares in the middle. You could also think of it is that we are doing feet times feet, which gives us feet squared. Up here, we're doing feet plus feet, which just still gives us feet, right? That doesn't give us an exponent at all. But here, once we start multiplying things together, then we get this feet squared. And so sometimes people write it like this. Sometimes people write it like this for square feet. It means the same thing. And it always is we always get units squared whenever we're calculating area. Okay, so there's another type of shape, and that is the volume calculation. guess it's the same shape. It's just a new measurement. And for the volume calculation, we have a rectangle. But this time, there is some depth to our rectangle. So we're going to pretend like those are all the same size. Just go with me here. So we have a length of, or height of 4. We have a width of 6. And then this right here would, think of it as this is like one slot, one row of these grids. And then the question is how many of these grids can we fit in our box? So if we could fit, I'll just draw this here. If we could fit 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 4 deep. So our volume is now going to be length times width times height. And it doesn't really matter which one you call length and which one you call width and which one you call height. But just for fun, I'm going to say that this is our height and this is our width and this is our length. You might not like the way I just labeled them. You might want to label them differently. It doesn't matter. You're just going to take those 3 numbers and you're going to multiply them together. So if I get out my little handy dandy calculator, I will get 4 times 6 times 4, which is 96. 4 times 6 times 4, which is 96. Now again, if we are measuring in feet, so this is 6 feet, this is 4 feet, and this is another 4 feet, we've now multiplied feet times feet times feet. So our units will be in feet cubed, or sometimes it's written like this, cubic feet, right? In other words, it's a recognition that we are multiplying 3 units together. So a perimeter has, let's see if I can get this all on one page. Probably not. Okay, so maybe if I do it like this. How about this? Okay, we'll do it like this. So a perimeter is just plain old feet. The area is feet squared, and the volume is feet squared. Hello. And the volume is feet cubed. So that is one thing that I'd like you to keep in mind when you start measuring these shapes. All right, that is the difference between perimeter, area, and volume.